Oklahoma's own News on 6 starts now.
First at 10, hundreds of people fill downtown Broken Arrow for a nationally broadcast boxing event held in the middle of the street. Thanks for joining us. I'm Craig Day.
And I'm Lori Fulbright. This is the second year for the Rumble in the Rose District, and News on 6's Kristen Weaver is live with a look at the fights and all the fun. Kristen.
Well, Lori and Craig, the Rose District is the place to be tonight. There's a ring right here in the middle of Main Street, and the main event actually just started about 15 minutes ago. I was told almost 400 tickets were sold and hundreds more people were lining up to watch. You could say it's a pretty big night of boxing here in BA. As the stage went up and the lights turned on, everyone rolled with the punches.
Showbox saw this beautiful downtown area and they said, we're coming back.
Brent Brassfield is the city's Rose District coordinator and says workers only had a few weeks to put this whole production together, but they were up for the fight. The city hosted Rumble in the Rose in 2019, but it had to be indoors due to weather.
This is a worldwide telecast, so obviously the excitement and the energy levels there.
People filled up seats to watch 7 fights, and those who didn't buy tickets gathered outside the gates to get a glimpse. Restaurants got in the ring too, reserving tables for people to watch and offering food and drinks curbside.
There's a big boxing arena in the middle of the street. So it's crazy out here. We've got a bunch of vendors. All the restaurants are set up to have a great time.
Andolini's bar manager, Brian Sonyapai, set up pizza by the slice and beer by the glass. He says this is bigger than he imagined.
To show the world Broken Arrow, that's super cool.
Showtime is broadcasting 3 of the fights to a worldwide audience.
It's cool because we have such a beautiful evening, and it's just going to make the world see how great of a town Broken Arrow is.
Brassfield says they're hoping for a knockout night with a big boom in business for BA.
It's not a fight, it's an experience.
And they're not ready to throw in the towel just yet. They have to have all of this down by 4 a.m. to make way for a classic car show here tomorrow morning. Live in Broken Arrow, Kristen Weaver, Oklahoma's own News on 6.
Certain people in Oklahoma are now eligible to get a 3rd dose of Pfizer's COVID vaccine. People 65 and older can get that booster shot, as well as younger adults with underlying medical conditions. People more likely to be exposed to the virus because of where they work or live also qualify for booster shots. The state health department says it has plenty of those doses while still giving people their first doses as well. Governor Kevin Stitt is pushing to get more monoclonal antibody treatments to Oklahoma. But in the past 2 weeks, he says the Biden administration has changed the way it allocates the drugs to make sure states get it equally. The governor is questioning the administration and wants to know how those drugs are going to be distributed and whether they're being restricted.
What's confusing for us is the federal government has started limiting the supplies to Oklahoma, and we're asking why. Why is that happening?
The Biden administration says the new strategy will ensure consistent and fair distribution. The state health department says it has enough treatments to meet its current needs.
Next month, the state of Oklahoma is set to execute a death row prisoner for the first time since 2015. The state has now set an execution date of October 28th for John Grant. Grant is on death row for stabbing an employee at Dick Connor Correctional Center to death in 1998. At the time, Grant was in prison for armed robbery. His execution was originally scheduled for 2015, but it was put on hold along with all the other executions in the state after some botched executions.
A home near 81st and Delaware has heavy damage after catching fire. Firefighters say there were large flames and heavy smoke at the home when they arrived, which was a little after 4 this afternoon. Crews had to go inside the home to get the fire out. No one was injured, though. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.